that.
All right, today what we're going to talk about is how to get in the door, how to get the 21 questions done, and then how to begin the presentation. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to be calling a lot of businesses. You're going to pick them at random, you're going to ignore the charts, as we said before, and then you got to make the phone call. I want to show you how to make the phone call. We're going to call a place called London Bridge Insurance.
London Bridge Insurance, how can I help you?
Hi, this is Chris Rolando from the radio station, and I'd like to book an appointment with Mike Carr to talk about advertising.
Advertising?
Well, yeah, we sell radio commercials, and what we're trying to do is, try to help improve people's business. Listen, the deal is this. I'm not going to take a lot of time. It's going to be 10 minutes, and I promise nobody's time will be wasted in those 10 minutes. Can you fit me in, say, Tuesday at maybe around noon?
Well, let me check his schedule.
Very good. Then I will see him Tuesday at noon. Like I said, a 10-minute appointment, and I'll be out of his hair. Julie, thank you very much. Right. Bye-bye. That's it. Short, sweet, and to the point. You can get objections on the phone. The thing to keep going back to is, I'm only going to take 10 minutes. And another line I like to use is, I'm going to take 10 minutes of your time, and here's my personal guarantee. If I don't come up with something that can help your business in those 10 minutes, I guarantee you will never hear from me again. And usually that gets me in the door. Don't ever fall into the traps of saying, I'm not selling anything. Or if they ask you, are you trying to sell me something? Don't say, no, I'm not. Yes, I am trying to sell you something. Eventually, radio advertising to help your business. But I just want to come in and ask you questions for 10 minutes. Do you have a few minutes Tuesday at 5? Pick a time. Pick a convenient time. And by the way, there is no law on the planet that says you can't go into a customer after 5 o'clock or on Saturday morning. And you'd be surprised, 2 cups of coffee and a few donuts on a Saturday morning, what you can get accomplished. All right, let's go ask the 21 questions. Okay, we've got our 10-minute appointment here at London Bridge Insurance. Now, we promised them we're going to do it in 10 minutes, and we're going to do that by sticking to the script. We've got our 21 critical business questions on a pad. We're going to tear one off in front of him, so it looks like this is what we do every single time, and it is what we do every single time. We're going to stay on track. We're going to stay with the questions. I think we're set. Let's go in and do it. Hi, Mike. Chris Rolando from the radio station.
Oh, nice to meet you.
This is my assistant, Dana.
Hi, Dana. Why don't you guys come on in?
Well, good. Well, Mike, listen, I'm glad you could meet with us today, and you can come over. And as I told you on the phone, I was just looking for 10 or 15 minutes. I wanted to ask you a few questions about your business, simple questions that are going to help us decide how, if any way, we can help get you to some of the goals that you have. The idea here is to find out if there's anything that I can do for your business, because quite frankly, I'm a commission salesperson. I make money on selling you advertising. The only way you're going to buy advertising from me is if I'm helping your business. I'm not here to sell you a week's worth of ads, a month's worth of ads, or a year's worth of ads. You've told me you've listened to our radio stations, and a lot of the people on our stations have been with us 10, 12, 15 years. That's what I'm after. So I want to ask you some questions that are just going to kind of guide me to where I have to go in doing research. Simple questions about your business, like, does your business have a positioning statement? Like, Kmart is your savings store. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware man. Do you have something like that?
Well, Chris, we've had a saying for a long, long time, and that saying for us has always been, let us protect your world.
Let us protect your world. That's a neat statement for an insurance company. Now, if in the share of market ladder, in other words, we have the market here, our trading area, if you will, and let's pretend there's a ladder up against the wall. And in the share of market, for this market, on the ladder, what rung on the ladder are you? Number 1, number 2, number 5?
I would say we're probably around number 4, somewhere in there.
4. Now, you've got a share of the market. Is your share trend on this rising? Is it falling? Is it about equal?
Of late, it's pretty flat.
Pretty flat. Now, which one of the businesses below you coming up is giving you a little bit of concern or worry, if you would? Or just one that maybe you're noticing?
I would say that it would be probably American Family Insurance.
And why is that?
They're very new to this area. They've opened up 2 offices in this area, and they're doing a lot of, there's a lot of national advertising that's being done for American Family.
So it builds that top of mind awareness for people. Now, a minute ago you told me your share trend was flat. What do you attribute that to?
We've experienced a lot of growth here in this business for the last 6 or 7 years. I believe in my heart that every business goes through a period of plateaus, and I believe right now that we're just on this little plateau and we've got to figure out a way to bring it up to the next level.
And that's something you want to do?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. If someone was in the market to buy insurance, and let's talk generally,
Okay.
because you do many lines, you're commercial, residential, everything else. If someone that was in the market to buy insurance today, why wouldn't they buy from you?
Honestly, I can't give you a reason why they shouldn't or wouldn't buy from us, except they don't know who we are. That's the only reason I could come up with.
So basically, they just don't know about you. If they know you, they're going to buy from you.
Yes.
What hours is this office open?
We're open from 9 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday.
What are your busiest days of the week?
Mondays and Fridays.
Monday and Friday. Why is that?
Generally Monday, everyone's thinking about getting things taken care of that they thought about all weekend long. And oddly enough, you will find that on Fridays,
They get around to it.
they finally get around to it. Yes, but they also are dealing with, a lot of people buy new cars, boats, those kind of things, believe it or not, on Fridays, Thursdays and Fridays. It's another thing that they just have to deal with.
Then they have to get a hold of you. Are there any peak hours of the day here?
Generally at 9 in the morning till about 10:30, it's the phone calls are just, the phone's just ringing off the hook. After that, it's relatively steady for the rest of the day.
Okay. Is there any part of the year that is like a higher push for you, an area where you're leaning into? Like if you were in retail, it would be a major sales event, but obviously we're talking about insurance here. Is there a bump that comes along?
Not really. For the most part, as you know, you've bought new cars and you've bought a house and you've done other things personally. There really is no time schedule for the things that you do. Whether you do it in springtime or summer or fall is really immaterial. Thus, ours just flows with what the economy is doing.
That brings me to my next question is, why don't more people do business with you? In other words, what's your number one sales problem?
I would say, again, it's just people not knowing who we are. What we sell, it's basically, and I've always looked at it, and I've referred to it as cornflakes. An auto policy is an auto policy. It comes down to the service that you give after you've made the sale, the quality of the company that you're dealing with. And so there's no reason why they wouldn't be dealing with us unless they didn't know who we were.
So how'd you get started in this business?
Seems by mistake, frankly. My father had first owned the agency and he became a little ill, and I started working with him, and somehow he hooked me and I never left.
When did he start in?
He started in September of 1972.
A lot of years.
That's when this agency opened its doors.
And you've been working in here how long?
Since 1983.
Got it. Some of the people that you have now as customers, why are they with you?
We create a real good personal relationship with the people that we deal with. They know that they can call us, they can get something done. It's not a hassle to them. One of the key phrases that's going around in the retail and service industry right now, when you go out to dinner and you ask for something, everyone says what? They don't say please and thank you anymore. It's always no problem, right? I have a certain thing that I just don't care for that particular phrase, but the people know that when they call down here, it's not a problem. When they need something done, they can pick up the phone, we'll get it done for them. And over the years, we have customers that my father started in 72 and 73. They're still doing business with us today.
Understood. What is it that this agency offers that your competitors don't offer or won't offer?
That's a tough question, to be very honest with you, because there again, the policy forms, the things that we sell are all very much the same. It comes down to the intangibles, it comes down to the people, and believe me, I'm not saying anything about the people working in any of my competitors. There's some fine people out there working, but I believe that the people in my office really take a liking to someone, they want to take care of them, and they become genuinely concerned. I think that's really all it is. It comes down to people, doesn't it, Chris?
I think you're right.
I think so too.
What makes this, we mentioned the cornflake thing. We've mentioned that the people here get involved with the other people on the outside instead of, the phone tree from heck that we've all been through.
We hate that.
So what makes this particular agency unique?
Again, I'm going to put it on the people. I really do. We have people that have been here for 15 years, which in a town that isn't that old is pretty amazing, quite frankly. They take an interest in what they're doing. They want to learn. People in my office are constantly going to school. They want to improve their education. They want to have a better understanding of the insurance industry and how it affects the people that they deal with. I just really believe that they care. You have brick and mortar and you have people. And I think it's the people that really make the difference here.
I know it sounds like I'm asking you a lot of the same questions, just different ways, but I'm just trying to really kind of center in. We all have competitors in our business. If I said competitors, who's the first one that comes to your mind?
AJS, State Farm, Allstate.
The people who go there, why do they go there?
Their parents went there. State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, those kind of companies, you will find generations of clients. Grandma, mom, daughter, they've all been dealing in the same place, and a lot of times with the same person through their entire lives.
So what would their largest competitive advantage with you be? I mean, are they able to do, or is this still come back to cornflakes? Do they have any advantages over you?
I think one of the advantages that they have is what did you call it earlier? Top of mind awareness?
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that they have. You look at Allstate, State Farm, those are names that you've known forever, and you've known from wherever you've come from in the country. Now you've come to this little small town in a desert, and those of us who don't have that national name have to create our own. And I think that's the one advantage that they have on us, just right off the bat.
I still know Mutual of Omaha, and I haven't seen one of those agents in 100 years. Where is Marlon Perkins?
I think he got eaten by a lion.
Here's a question, and I want you to kind of say the first thing that comes to your mind on this one. What is the single largest misconception about your business that drives you nuts?
Easy. I have clients every day who say to me, "Oh, we did not know that you did that too." We may write all of their commercial business. They don't know that we can do their personal stuff. They don't know that we can write their life insurance and their health insurance and whatever. And that's one of the things that happens a lot. And it is something that drives me nuts. As much as we try and drive home the fact that we are a multi-line agency, people still don't, for some reason, hear it.
Your current competitive advantage?
Current competitive advantage is we're as automated as we want to be.
Ooh, I like that.
Being in the insurance industry, you have to deal with computer systems, you have to be on the internet, you have to do all that stuff. But I think you pointed out earlier, you made a comment about the telephone system. We still have a nice young lady who will sit there and take your phone call and move you through the business. I think it's something that gets lost, and it's that little personal touch that you have with people. I hate picking up a phone and dialing 1 and 7 and 6 and 2, because half the time I lose track. And I always wind up with the operator anyway. I should have just started there to begin with. Here, you always start with a person.
What would you like your competitive advantage to be? If you could say, I would like to be best at this.
Ooh, that's a tough one, because I think there's a few, if you really want to know the truth. I want to be best. I want to be best at, as long as it's you and me talking off the record, cross-selling.
What's that mean?
Cross-selling, it goes back to what we talked about, the one thing that I think that we miss the most. We write your home. I want to write your auto. I want to write your business. I want to do everything that is Chris or is, Joe, or is the Acme business that's out there. We want to round the entire account. If I can do that, I could double the size of my business without leaving the front door. I mean, wouldn't anybody love to be able to do that? That's really what I would love to do.
Quick questions about your average customer. The average person you're doing business with right now. Male to female ratio.
Ooh, I'm gonna say probably 60% female. And the only reason why I say that is because we do a lot of personal lines, a lot of homeowners and auto, and it seems like the wife seems to handle that more than the husband does. Probably because we would probably just mess it up anyway.
True.
True.
And what would you like it to be? Optimally, if you could say, this is how I want my spread to be, what would it be?
Oh boy, I'm going to say 50-50 because I'm going to take the easy way out, because I think if I say anything different, I'm going to get in trouble one way or the other.
Gotcha. Age, give me the age groups. Your average, again, if you were to think of your customer base, you'd say they're all between the ages of
35 and 50.
about 35 and 50.
I think that'd be a good average.
And what would you like them to be?
I'd like them to stay right there.
Right there, that's good for, okay. Average income. I mean, I know you've got some people in the stratosphere and some on the bottom, but what's the average income of somebody who does business with you? 30 to 60, 60 to 100, over 100?
I will say 30 to 60, because I look at the town itself, and I think that's a good median average for the entire community. And we do a pretty good cross-section of the community.
Is there anything you'd want to shift in that if you could?
I'm a firm believer in staying. I like the middle of the road. I have found that when you decide that you're going to deal in and don't get me wrong, the low end, and when you deal in the low end, you deal with volume. You have to write thousands because you're constantly servicing and having problems.
Right.
I don't like that. The high end, I have found they become a little bit more demanding. And although I have no problem dealing with the demands, the people in our little section of the world,
Right.
if you take care of them, you show them that you care, you show that you have concern for them, they'll be as loyal to you as you can imagine.
I was looking around your office and I noticed a couple things. First of all, there's some stuff over there from Progressive and a couple other companies. Do you have any vendors that you can put the squeeze on to pay for some of your marketing?
Yes, I do.
Who are they?
Progressive.
If you don't mind telling, Progressive would be
Progressive is one. Auto Owners Insurance Company has a program. The Metropolitan Auto and Home has a program. Hartford You got to squeeze hard, but you might get $1 out of them. They're
Are
out
any
there.
of these ones that we could help with? I mean, are there ways that we can help you to latch into those funds a little better? I mean, I'm not asking you what we could do, I just,
Right.
if.
I'm sure that you could. They're basically company-based programs. I really don't know that much about them. If you could help me research them, most definitely.
Okay, Mike, well, that's about it. Like I told you, it'd be only about 15 minutes, so hopefully that was fairly painless. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this back to the station where Dana and some other people do some research on your business. We do research through the Radio Advertising Bureau. We have various places on the web that we look. Try to find out all we can about your business and the companies that you're partners with, like Progressive and whatnot. We're going to try to come up with some ideas to bring you to the goals that we defined here today. And the only thing I ask is if we can come up with some ideas, can we bring them back and play them for you?
Most definitely.
Great. Mike, I want to thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Mike, thanks for seeing me. Last time I said we'd be back only if we had an idea for your business, and I think we've come up with a couple of things. In here, love the smell of leather. In here we have some information about the radio station. I've got some information on my news department over here for you to read a little later on. I've got a nice leather binder for you to keep. But the most important thing I have right here is the ideas that we've come up with after doing the various research that we did through the Radio Advertising Bureau on the web. Turns out a lot of your insurance providers have very interesting websites, the Progressive and whatnot. We went in there and took a little look and did a lot more in-depth analysis of what's going on and what type of marketing is being done. We went through the advertising objectives, and just quickly, in the 21 questions, we asked you a number of things about your business. Your biggest desire was to be able to write everybody's full line of business. In other words, if they have a house, if they have a car, a boat, a business, tie it all together. And we found out, looking at some of the other websites, that a lot of times when you do that, you're able to save people quite a bit of money by tying it all together.
Right.
Coincidentally, you said the single largest misconception about your business was the fact that most people don't know that you offer all of these other lines and all of these other products. And that's kind of what we centered in on. We centered in on an ad campaign, and in advertising, it's all about what you say, times how many times you say it, a good message, repeated over time. Your business has been here since 1975, was it? 72. It was right there, I just didn't look down. 1972, it takes time to build it. It takes time for advertising to work. In our media analysis, we noted that most of insurance agents' money for advertising is spent in the yellow pages, hoping to get those last people who don't know anywhere else to go. We came up with ideas that are designed to get people to turn to you first. And I want to play you a couple of these right now.
Product.